Right. All right.
Coach, what was the message to the team afterwards? You said you're feeling kind of mid right now.
Yeah. Really proud of our team. Congratulations on just a great game by Coach Malzahn and his staff, and certainly his team. We were fortunate to win the game. We made enough mistakes today to lose. Captain Obvious here, and but we were able to overcome it. And kind of like in golf, on the scorecard, there's a real small little box when you make that par. I hadn't made many, but you can't explain everything that happened in the game or on that particular hole. Not enough room, and it all counts the same if it's a par. And so we'll take it. I can find lots of different ways to win the game. Thought we got into a really good rhythm on defense early. 4 straight drives of 3 and out, and then we gave up a drive there where we stop them on 3rd down on the goal line, and then get the taunting penalty, and our guys continue to fight. And but this game will punish you for the lack of poise and discipline. Challenge the team to start the week on the back half of the season to be, strive to be described when people describe this team. Something that you can, identify. The DNA of Team 129, and strive for people calling you disciplined. And we were exactly opposite of that today. And again, fortunate to win. And with the mistakes that we made, again, even all the way up on that last drive, some of the things we did is a little perplexing. And don't think that the off week had anything to do with it. Don't think that looking past anybody had anything to do with it. And sometimes that's the game of football, and a lot to learn from and get better from. And hopefully our guys will come back on Monday and be relentless to improve. We got a lot to improve as we look forward, but we're 7-0. And again, real proud of our offense there late, in the game. We got it together and had 2 fantastic touchdown drives. And Drake Stoops was, fabulous again. Just a great football player. What a fantastic football player. He had some amazing words for the guys that put him up there in front of the guys, and what this team is. He's such a great leader and has been the model of consistency, and stands for everything that we want our team to stand for. And Nick Anderson, another great day, over 100 yards and 2 more touchdowns for him. And Dylan, when we had to, again, leading us on those 2 touchdown drives. And Gavin and Marcus had some good tough runs there on both of those drives. So a lot to be thankful for. Thankful for victory, and again, thankful for, I love going in on Monday after a win, and I get to yell at some guys, and we got a lot of yelling to do. But and I say that with all due respect to our guys and what we got to do to improve and get better, because there's a lot of things. So,
what was the key to getting the running game going late?
I think sustaining blocks and run through some trash. We got to run with a little more power, play behind our pads, and not let the first guy, get us down. That's if you think about last year, again, just good running backs. When you got to run through, for the whole game, they can't just knock you down with an arm tackle. You got to run through some trash, make something out of nothing. Sometimes we got to sustain blocks on the first level better. And we get a little complacent and don't finish sometimes, and it shows. I thought, again, UCF did some really good things on defense, but, we've got to continue to work on the run game. And we got, again, it was a big part of, both of those touchdown drives.
Brent, on the 2-point try, looks like you guys stuffed it out. Did you expect that, or did you expect on that 2-point try?
Our defensive call is actually stuffing. So you said stuffed it out. So yeah, guys did a good job of being prepared for that moment. Spent a lot of time in the red zone, knowing how good their offense was. And again, there's a lot, man. It was a frustrating game for us on defense, because UCF, did the things they needed to do to keep it close and make some plays. And, the 17 points, though, I really felt in the first half that we gave up, we had a lot to do with it. And, I think they rushed for 50 yards on 41 carries, and 40 of the carries, they averaged 2.5 yards, and number 3 rushing team in college football. But we gave up the 54-yarder on that sprint draw, and we worked on that play a lot, and it didn't show. And they punched it through there on that play, did exactly what we can't do on it, and they made us pay for it. So, but yeah, they prepared, the 2-point play, and I'm disappointed in the touchdown play that shouldn't have happened. But again, stuff that we got to get better at.
Did you get a information or reference to the rule, the unsportsmanlike conduct is an 86-yard touchdown?
Yeah, they said they called it a touchdown. The guy said he missed it where it happened. They called it in the end zone. So
Where was Tyler Walker today?
he was in-house suspension. So hopefully he'll be back next week.
Hey, Brent, I'm over here. I'm so behind. Yep. Kettle made the play on their 2-pointer, but I take it there was more to it than that. Simply you guys locked him down and doing what you needed to do, at least on that play. Can you sort of take me through what you wanted to do and what you saw happen?
Yeah, I mean, we have a simulated pressure with bracket coverage and anticipating the pocket to move, the play action stuff. So we watched a lot of 2-point plays that they had run over the last couple of years, and we certainly have had a little bit of exposure to Coach Malzahn and their guys, and our guys were ready for it. They did a nice job of executing there in that moment.
It looked like he was wanting to throw it. Is that what you saw too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had the end zone covered pretty well.
Yeah.
It's not he didn't miss something. You just had it really covered well.
Right.
Okay. Thanks.
Don't like that. Maybe the film will tell me something different. That happens every once in a while too.
Hey Brent, you've had teams that have been in position to contend for, big
Yeah.
prizes at the end of the year. I'm sure you've had teams that have maybe had close calls like today. What can
Lots.
they? What
That's the message to the team, man. There's not a team I've been a part of, a championship team. Sometimes it's really, really good teams. Maybe you didn't win a championship, but where you got to win different kinds of ways, and you start peeling it all the way back. And that's the game of football. And sometimes it looks really shiny at the end. The story reads really well at the end, but there's a story behind all that glory, the glory of winning a championship, holding a trophy up, and people that weren't an intimate part of it in the locker room sometimes forget all that. But it takes that too, to me, to, if in a perfect world, we'll continue to get better. We'll continue to learn. We'll continue to figure out different kinds of ways to win and not peak too soon. Whatever that means. You don't go out of your way, fall down and not score intentionally. You don't not peak intentionally, but the experiences that you find your identity through the struggle and the disappointment and the tough moments of a season, that does that for you. And but plenty of games and plenty of championship teams that go through one of the or several of those and that's not a lot of fun, in the middle of it, but there's lots of ways to do it. And certainly we're not looking ahead, but I just want to, make sure our guys, we've been trying to tell them even before we started the season that you can't play for the applause, and, that can't be what you look for from a fulfillment standpoint and from a fuel standpoint, because when you get in this arena, you're going to have plenty of moments where they're not clapping for you and cheering for you, and they're not impressed by you. And so don't go to that place. And again, young people, that's easier said than done. Even old people, some people that, they like to hear about themselves, and that's something that is counter to, winning a championship. And so hopefully our guys will continue to be inside out and stay humble and stay hungry and driven and willing to put the work in. And so far, so good when it comes to our leadership, and the fight and the guts that our guys showed out there displayed today when we needed it the most.
Brent, you guys, Bowen comes out there on that third down play.
Which one? The sack?
The big sack.
Yeah.
What was the call there? What did you see, and just how big was that that play?
It was big. I mean, they're all big. You look in that game. I mean, they're all big, but that was a big one. Certainly, we got off the field there. It was zone blitz, and he's coming off the boundary side, and my guess is that they busted their protection, and we had a mugged up look, and they did some similar stuff to us as well. You show one thing and do another, and you zone blitz and play good coverage and behind, and the quarterback holds the ball a little long, and you make a play. So he did a great job. Came fast and was tight and stayed on the upfield shoulder and made the play when he had to. We've seen plenty of guys get there and faint, and certainly Peyton didn't faint.
Zach missed a couple more today. I mean, where's just your confidence level in him?
I got great confidence in Zach, and had a rough, it was a little rough patch, but man, I believe in him. I've seen him at practice over and over and over deliver. He came back, and after 2 misses and made one, and we got to be more consistent there. Again, same thing. There's going to be more tight games, and I got confidence that he'll make them at the right time. So, we're not the only ones. There's lots of guys that got to get better, and certainly that's an area. Thought we were better at punting, and we did a great job on some of the coverage units. I had some couple of nice little returns, and they tried to run in reverse and a throwback, and we snuffed those out as well. Just talking about the kicking game while I'm on it, while we're on it. But yeah, Zach is, I still got great confidence in him.
So he's still your guy going.
Yeah.
Is Marcus Major 100% right now? Is he dealing with something?
He has a little banged up shoulder, but man, I love, he's toughed it out and has done a great job of showing up, not complaining, and competing and being, available and reliable when we need him.
Can you talk about the other running back, Gavin Sawchuk? He battled through injuries this year, looked a little jittery to start the game. But then as he got in the groove, can you talk about just his game and what he's been through so far this year?
Yeah, no, Gavin, he's, as we know, can be a really explosive guy. And he had some good, tough runs where he busted some tackles there late. And that's what we all saw in Florida State. And so just, again, he battled a hamstring injury all summer, and those hamstrings are funky. And but good start for him, and good moment for him to have some success, and we need him.
Is he one of those backs just as you get him more and more into
I don't know if that's if that's the case or not. He was a shot out of a cannon against Florida State right from the jump, right? Florida State's pretty good, so he didn't need to get warmed up there. He hadn't played all year and got in that game and freaking was possessed. So I don't know if he's that or not. I don't know.
It seems like the running game that you guys have had so far, sometimes you'll have a big run, sometimes you guys aren't.
Yeah, we got to be more consistent in doing the things that I'm talking about, sustaining blocks, and again, running through trash and having the patience that it takes. And then the people that are involved in, blocking that are outside the box, we got to do a great job there. And you got tight ends involved, and you got the quarterback that's got to run the fake. He's got to, do the fundamentals from a fake standpoint so the defense can't collapse on the ball and things like that. And then he's got to be willing to pull it too when people are trying to take, certain things away. And so there's a little bit of everything there.
Enjoy senior team's poise down 23-17.
Say it again.
The team's poise down 23-17.
Yeah.
It just seemed like there's no beginning, especially on offense.
Yeah.
Just what did you see?
Again, I just see a team that has belief and has some maturity. And again, we talk to them, look, find a way to win. If you go in there and think things are going to be easy, or you go there and you try to play to a certain level of expectations, or to a point spread, to an opinion of others, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. Your butt ain't going to be ready to play and compete like you need to, whatever it takes. You play for 60 minutes or as long as it takes, period. And you better expect some opposition. You better expect it to be difficult and challenging, not the other way. And don't expect it to be easy. And so we try to nurture that mindset, and it's not an easy thing to nurture, but when you go through it, it develops some confidence, having gone through that. And we've gone through it a little bit, whether that's Cincinnati game or certainly Texas and here today. And we've been, nurturing that tough mindedness that the game requires, the sport requires, to be good. And again, there's lots of different ways to win. So try to create confidence in those moments. And to me, you get that a lot of that on the practice field. You know, that's our petri dish. That's your opportunity competitively. To me, that should be a competitive advantage. There's not many games that we're going to show up and the people that we line up against are better top to bottom than what we see on the practice field, both sides of the ball. You know, that's the vision. You know, whether or not we're exactly there or we're closer to being there, but that's the vision. And, you know, game day isn't going to be easier, but they're not going to be overwhelmed because of what they see on the practice field every day.
They came out.
lose last year.
I believe so. It's not an indictment on anyone or even on 128, but I don't think that we were equipped a year ago to find a way to win that game.
Brent, what about your pass rush today? Because you talked before the game about their deception can sometimes.
Yeah. It slows you down, and they got us a few times, and we had some boneheaded mistakes. Golly, did we? And but their play action game, they do it off of our, you know, the run game or what looks like run, and they did a lot of 7-man protections, and I felt like our pressure was still pretty decent. We got to tighten up coverage when we get in some man-to-man situations. We got to be better there. Fell below those expectations a couple of times, and but I thought our push and our pressure and our disruption up front was there for a good part of the day today. And then when we let the ball get outside of us a couple of times, it was because of that too. You know, when we're supposed to have edges to the defense, guys didn't execute calls when we were supposed to box the football and stay outside. And a couple of times they ran a slow mesh and we were in great position. We knock them backwards and then guys start peeking and losing the discipline in those moments and getting anxious and getting out of gaps. And those backs, as we said, going into the game are exceptional. They're explosive. And they made us pay a few times, extend some drives and put them in a really good position and flip the field a couple of times too. And we got to be better than that. But I thought overall, guys up front did some excellent things today. And again, there's some things that we have to improve and get better, especially on the edges. But I thought inside was really pretty dang good. They made I think we had 12 or 13 tackles for loss. And this was it wasn't. But man, it had all the makings of being a dominant performance and on defense, and it wasn't. So we got punished for making some mistakes, and it doesn't take much to be on the right side of it, though, too. And I believe in those guys that were a part of some of the the mistakes we made today, and and putting our guys in a good position to be successful as well.
Did you come into this game expecting them to run a lot of just eye candy, a lot of misdirection, a lot of just
Were you there on Tuesday? The press conference on Tuesday? I'm trying to be a funny guy, but absolutely they major in exactly all that stuff. They might do it more than anybody. We're getting ready to play KU. You're going to get the same stuff, and they challenge you, and that's part of their success, is manipulation and, getting guys to have discipline eyes, discipline alignments, discipline adjustments, and playing in many ways like a spread option offense. And then they got explosive playmakers and a quarterback that can make plays throwing the ball, which makes it a little more dangerous than one of those triple option teams that we know can push you to the limits.
Chris, is your want to continue, as you said, working the run game at some point in real time, run up against what seemed to be your limitations? I mean, you stuck with it and stuck with it. It worked eventually, but you're behind in the late third quarter too. How do you sort of balance?
Well, they were barely ahead and they was doing it too on their side. So I don't know. It was one of those games. It was kind of, seeing who'd make a mistake and, being patient and sometimes certain aspects of your game on both sides of the ball aren't quite there. So, but I think just continue to believe and, as the game wore on, to me, our competitive depth showed up, if it just a little bit, and where we looked to be semi-fresh, late in the game on a couple of those touchdown drives, we still had some juice to us. And I don't know if that's an issue, but they were stuffing us pretty good. But late, we really got it going, and we had a good balance to what we were doing.
Does today lose the momentum from the Texas game 2 weeks ago, or?
I'm not like laughing at you at all. I don't believe in that. I don't know. I don't live like that. And I believe every week is a season of its own. And every week's going to present different challenges. And you try to prepare for all of it. I don't, you're always a week away from humility in this game. And so I don't look at that. And, we're in here like this from the jump. And again, we well-managed failures, the number one reason for success, and had a year of, if you will, failures. We're building the program in lots of different areas. And then poorly managed success is the number one reason for failure. And so some people will say, well, you didn't handle that success very good. That's fair game. That's again, one way to look at it. I look at it as individual moments. Like, for first 4 drives on defense, we were amazing. We handled the success great. But then we lost our mind and the poise in the moment, and we taunted somebody after a great stop, and we got punished for it. And that's how every game is like that. You honor and respect what it takes to win and be successful, and precision and details and doing, not talking. And so I think sometimes some of the momentum is outside the building and it's all talking, and there's an anointment that happens in sports, and sometimes it's premature. And it's still a game of earning and doing and executing and believing and fighting and outlasting and all those things. So I don't really believe in that, but we better have some things figured out and get better, because we're going on the road to play a really good Kansas team that's rested and incredibly. They're feeling pretty dang good about themselves right now. That team that we just barely escaped, I think they might have beat them by like 5 touchdowns or something, so, but every week is a season of its own.
Last one. This week being what it is, see your outfit, shoes. I want to ask you about Julie, how she's doing, and did this event take on any different meaning maybe that ones you've been through in the past?
Well, I mean, obviously when it hits home, it's personal. It's a very, it creates a lot of awareness for hopefully for everybody. And that's, as I said before, and she's great. She's a fighter. She's going to have another pretty extensive surgery here the first part of November, and we'll be gone for a couple of weeks. But she's ready for that. And we got a great game plan, and for us, and again, using this moment and this journey to be a blessing for other people, to create the awareness. As we know, breast cancer is one of the most beatable cancers there is, but early detection is important. And so using this moment and our foundation as an opportunity to try to create a pathway to help people with early detection and the awareness that the importance of, getting scans and being mindful that way. So
You're going to be gone for a couple of weeks. You
Julie will be.
Julie.
Yeah.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Y'all have a good one. Appreciate you.